guys, so I'm in the YouTube space today, which is why the background's different. It really reminds me of the Big Brother house. I don't know. But yeah, do you like my hat? It's a hype hat. I don't know if you can see it. Can you? There we go. But yeah, I feel like a proper tomboy today. Really like it. But yeah, let me know if you like my hat. But yeah, so this is part 2 of the question and answer series thing. It's really weird because I remember the last time doing this I was in Coventry, and it's just really cool to I don't know, see how far I've come in a year, because the last question and answer I did was last year and I was still in uni, and yeah, it's just really cool to see how far I've come. Gotta give myself a tap on the back. So, I'm just going to jump right into it basically, and yeah, first question. Tips for date with boy you like, please. I don't know. Be yourself. Don't bring up marriage or anything too controversial like religion or politics. Unless you both have the same political views. And dress casual and not too much, because sometimes it can be a bit it can be a bit intimidating for some guys, if you were to come all dolled up and stuff. Depends what kind of guy it is though. But yeah, those are my tips. I don't think they were very good, I'm really sorry. Next question. How can I speak to God? I actually have a blog post on how to get close to God, which is on my website. I'll probably put it here, but that looked really weird, like I was feeling my boobies. Probably put it here, but if not, it's in the info bar. But yeah, so just read that because it will just answer all your questions. What would be your... oh, I've answered this. I've answered that. I've done quite a few of these. What's your opinion on what's going on in Nigeria? The thing is, when you guys sent me these questions, this was when Boko Haram... Sorry to kind of half pick my nose during that. This is when Boko Haram attacked some parts of Nigeria, and to be honest, I was so aloof to it for 2 reasons. One, I'd just started my internship, so I was literally out of the house from 6 a.m. No, I'd be up by 6, out of the house by 8, and back in my house by 7 o'clock at night. I'd usually watch The Good Wife and literally go to sleep. So I was so unaware of what was going on. And then second, the media barely covered it because that was around the time of the Paris shootings with Charlie Hebdo and stuff. So I didn't even properly know what some of you guys were talking about. But now I know. It's just it just hurts my heart. It's just every day. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm itching. My hair's really it's just really dry and just... oh, it's so uncomfortable. It's just around my neck. But yeah, it just feels every day there's just worse news, and all I can do is literally pray, because I feel the more I watch the news... I'm not like most people. Most people, they can just watch the news and they can be oh, this is really good to keep me informed, but I'm just kind of this is really painful and this is upsetting and depressing. And I just stop watching the news and I go and watch something else. And I know it's kind of bad because in a way it's good to keep updated, but sometimes I just can't. I just can't deal with basically all the evils that are going on. It's just the child soldiers things as well. It's just, oh, it's just sad. It's so sad. And then she goes on to... that was weird. Sorry, I just had a deja vu moment. Then she goes on to say, do you think it's self-inflicted, or are they being bullied by another country? I don't know that much into Nigerian politics to say. I don't know how it all works, and to be honest, I slightly don't care, because I feel it's all corrupted and I'm just so not about it, and I just can't deal with how it just doesn't run like a proper country. The constitution doesn't run like a proper country should, and I just can't, so I don't know. Oh yeah, advice on getting right with God after falling back. A lot of you know that I can't remember when it was, 2013, summer of 2013, me and God were just not good. I still prayed and stuff, but I was just not. I was so unhappy. Like, even just thinking about it now, I was so unhappy. I was really, really angry with God, and I don't think I ever admitted it to myself, which I should have done, because maybe that would have helped. But I was just rebellious, and I mean, I'm not angry at myself for how I acted, because to be honest, with what I was going through, it was I just couldn't cope. I couldn't cope, and I, I think a lot of me was just like kind of blamed God, but I mean, it's weird. Like, obviously, nothing's ever really God's fault, and there's a way. He always does something in a certain way, and everything happens for a reason. But it was just so much. Like, I was dealing with so much, and so I fell back really badly. And sometimes I feel like you shouldn't feel bad for that, because at the end of the day, God knows the path for our life, and that He knows there's going to be a point when you fall down, or fall back, and we're only human. Like, we're only human at the end of the day, and I'm sorry if my hand feels weird. It's my jeans are like rubbing up against my buttocks. But yeah, he knows. I don't know how to articulate this, but he knows at one point we're gonna fall back, kind of like David and with the whole Bathsheba thing. And that's part of our journey. Like, to be honest, for me personally, I feel like if I didn't fall back at that point, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And it really humbles you, and it shows you, it teaches you to be really compassionate, because now if someone's going through something similar to what I went through or falls back, I'm no longer like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, yeah, I was there too. Let me sit down with you so we can mope together, because I totally understand what you're going through. Like, I don't want to be one of those Christians who are like, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm just going to be like, yeah, I was here before. It sucks, I know. Like, it just does, but we'll get through it. And yeah, so advice on getting right with God after falling back. To just accept what's happened. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're like, I feel so bad, I shouldn't have done this, just accept it. Just be like, you know what, I'm human. I'm actually human. And, there's so many people in the Bible who've completely messed up. Moses got angry. Moses killed someone. I don't think it was on purpose, but anyway, whatever. Moses killed someone. Like, so many people made so many mistakes. Who else as well? I was just thinking of some people. Sorry, I'm just feeling my muscles, because, protein, yes. Yeah, so many people made so many mistakes. Like, Miriam was talking about Moses behind his back, and all of these people made mistakes. David, as I mentioned, and it's just like, you're human. If they can make mistakes, trust me, you're gonna make mistakes too, and it's part of your journey. In a way, it's actually part of making you a better Christian anyway. And yeah, so just accept what's happened and stop blaming yourself. There's literally no point, because it's weird, like, we forget that as soon as we admit it and be like, Dad, God, just help me, He's already brushed that off, and it's so part of the past that He doesn't actually remember it. And if He's not talking about it, then there's no reason why we should be concentrating on it. But because we're human, it's so hard, because you want to be so hard on yourself. I feel like I'm taking ages to answer this question, but yeah, so just accept it, move on, and then just get back on track, but just a little at a time, because it's really hard to jump back into being holy when you've been doing bad stuff. So just take it one day at a time and see it as like kind of a friendship, and just literally just talk to Dad like, this is my problem. Like, it happens to all of us. Like, me myself, like, when I go through stuff, I'm like, Dad, I've done something bad and I don't know what to do, and I just need your grace, because I'm probably going to do something bad again, and I literally can't help myself. Like, that's the point of being human. We can't help ourselves. It's just flesh. Like, you can't, and it's literally just because of the grace of God, or the favour and the love of God, that we can be more like Christ every day. So yeah, when was the first time you were recognised by a fan, and how did it feel? Do you know what? I feel like I've been on YouTube so long that I can't even, not in a bragging way, but I can't even remember. I think the first time was like, it wasn't a normal time. Okay. Let me try and remember the first time someone met me on the street. It was probably quite surprising, and I was probably acting like a complete doofus, and I was probably like, it's just me. Like, I'm not even that bait. Like, just bait, sorry, Americans, famous or like popular. And I would probably just was like, this is really unnecessary. Like, if it was like Spoken Reasons or like Jenna Marbles or someone like that, then I'd be like, but like, it's just me, just stop. You're making both of us very uncomfortable right now. And I'm really weird. Like, if you meet me in person, I'm just so weird. I'm sorry, I can't stop touching my muscles. I'm sorry. But yeah, next question. When did you become a Christian, and did you lose friends afterwards? Became a Christian in July 2012. Did I lose friends afterwards? Not really. Most of my friends like are or were like Christians before me as well, actually. I was one of the last people, so like to become a serious Christian, so no, not really. I lost my boyfriend. Oh, that was a joke. Well, it's true, but that was a joke. So happy and proud of you and where your YouTube career is going. Oh, thank you guys. Okay, let me go on to the questions on Instagram. Bear with me. Okay. Oh, whoa. Why are there so many questions? Why did I not realise that this was... Okay, how do you know if a boy likes you? He goes out of his way to get your attention. He tries to impress you a lot. He'll probably try and make you laugh or show off or like get your attention with money, but those are not good boys. And they'll just look at you a lot. That's my favourite thing. Yeah. Anyway, when are you going to do a meetup? This year, maybe summertime. So I've got that I think it's Vibes Cartel, that summertime. Okay, yeah, I can hear it. You know, it's like when you can hear a song in your head but you can't really sing it. There's like, this year I'm planning to do like giveaways and meetups and stuff and just be a bit more like an actual YouTuber, try and get my act together. But yeah, what type of career do you intend on getting into now that you finished uni? Well, this was before I got my internship, I think. Well, at the moment, like social media marketing, PR, and right now just like kind of working towards doing more theatre stuff, like end of this year towards from end of this year onwards, basically. So yeah, what are your... Oh, hey Osa, you're gorgeous, by the way. Thank you. I'm applying to Coventry University. Is it a really black dominated uni and are the parties live? I love your priorities, by the way. Not even asking if it's in the top 10 of Times like uni list or whatever, but it's fine. It's weird because when I first started Cov, it wasn't that black dominated, but now everyone wants to go, and I can't express how odd this is. But yeah, it is. I mean, it's not black dominated, but there's a lot of black people, if that makes sense. But if that's your thing, you don't... I love you, whoever that is, but you really don't need to go to a black dominated uni. You need to get a degree. Real talk. Are the parties live? Yes. Doyen Sola 12. What are your thoughts on Christians drinking alcohol / clubbing? I keep hearing no from my church and I just wondered what you think. Thanks. I did a blog post on this. Me, myself, yes, I do drink. I try not to get drunk. Because obviously that's where the sin part of it comes into, so I try my best to avoid that, so I kind of try and stick to my limit. And yeah, I've done a blog post on this. Once again, it's on www.sincerelyosa.com, and that's actually a really popular blog post, so if you're interested in that, then go ahead and read it, because a lot of people read it. Well, where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Married, kids, not living in this country, and be my own boss, basically. What is your inspiration in life? God, and oh my gosh, I swear if it wasn't for God, I literally probably wouldn't be here today. I'm not even joking, because I've been through some tough times. But yeah, and literally like all the positive stuff the Bible has to say literally keeps me going. But apart from that, people like Oprah, and this book actually called Amazing Grace. I can't remember who the author is, but basically the point of that is you can be anything if you put your mind to it, and it's about this little black girl who wants to play Peter Pan in her school play, and people think that she can't because she's a girl and she's black, but she does it anyway. And yeah, stuff like that just keeps me going. Modesty, can you be sexy but look appropriate? Yeah, you can. but I will do a blog post on this. I don't think there's anything wrong with looking sexy. I don't. It's weird because the world, or like, yeah, has a different connotation of sexy than sexy in my head is a woman who's confident, who owns her body, who's happy with the body and the personality that God's gave her, and just walks with confidence in who she is. To me, that's sexy. But obviously, everyone else is thinking people like Erica Mena, like a video girl. But that's not what I mean. So I will do a blog post on modesty, because I think sexiness has much more to do with like your body and what's on show. It has a lot to do with your mind and your confidence as well. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with being sexy at all. Okay, so someone's asked, do you have any advice for people who experience problems because of their religious beliefs? How do you cope with people that hate or judge you because of your religion? I just keep it moving. There's always going to be someone who has something to say. Sometimes it's really annoying, so I literally have to like ignore the comment and just move on, because I'll get really angry. And I think some of you have seen me get a little bit irritated sometimes, but you just have to just ignore it, and I just try and focus on something else. In terms of A levels, what tips would you give to get A grades and A2? Work hard, put a minimum of 16 hours a week into your A levels, and make a timetable of your work so you stay organised, and use different ways to revise, not just reading notes. It depends what works for you, but you need to find out how you learn best, and then you need to appeal to that. If you learn best by hearing, record lectures. If you learn best by writing, write all your notes over and over again. If you revise best visually, then make boards and make them colourful and stuff. That's how I learn. And write down goals of what you want to get in that grade and look at it every day, so you have that vision in your head. I think I just poked myself in the face, but yeah. And how do you suggest balancing work, family and other things? Once again, timetable. Bubbly Tunde, hi, you're really pretty, thank you, and cool, and you inspire me by lots of your videos. This is so nice, thank you. My question is, have you ever had a serious relationship, and what happened to break it up? Lol. Yes, I have had a serious relationship. I feel like everyone knows, but I still have to do it again. Not in a rude way. I just feel like I don't like saying it all the time. But anyway, I have to. Yeah, I did have a serious relationship a couple of years ago. Lol, that was Scholar. She's texting that she's late. She's supposed to be joining me today. And yeah, a couple of years ago, about 2 years ago, or 3, what happened to break it up? I became a serious Christian, and and part of that obviously is not having sex before marriage, and that was a big problem for him, and so we ended it. Yeah. How do you not give up when everything gets really hard for you? Honey, literally just Jesus, honey, because I literally, like, this year has been so hard, and there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that hopefully you guys will see, like, the fruits of that in a couple of months, or in a couple of weeks actually. But I just, like, literally just God and good friends as well, because without that I would just give up, because sometimes life can get really hard, and I think adults don't get that because they're like, oh, you're young, what do you know? But there's a lot that we have to juggle with, and especially those of us, all of us who are so passionate about being successful, the harder you work, the harder life is in general. Like, not in a sad way, like, oh, life is so hard for me, but the harder you work, the more obstacles you're going to have to, like, jump over to get to where you want to go. Obviously, if you're not doing anything, life's not going to be that hard for you, because you're just like, yeah, I'm just working at Sainsbury's. But if you're trying every day to reach something, then yeah, you're going to have obstacles, unfortunately. So God, motivational quotes as well. Like, if you don't read the Bible, motivational quotes, like, look at someone who inspires you. And what I do is sometimes I have it as my, like, screensaver or something, so every time I look at my phone it's there. And yeah, Pinterest is really good as well for keeping motivational quotes. How do you feel about the recent tragedies in Nigeria? Yeah, I've answered that. And how did you get by with first year of college? First year of college was cool. I literally was proper finding myself, because I didn't know who I was. And it's weird, because now I look back and I'm like, second year was the point where I started to figure out who I was. And I don't know what what made that happen. But yeah, first year was cool. I didn't do that well in first year though, because I didn't understand how A levels worked. The workload was awful. I was doing subjects I hated, but making friends was easy. But I had a different situation because my secondary school was like a partner secondary school with the college. So most people who went to my secondary school automatically got into the college. So like literally I showed up to college and it was like secondary school all over again, and that made it so fun. But I mean, if you want advice on making friends, I would say maybe join clubs that have that you're interested in, so you'll bump into people who have similar interests to you, or kind of just let loose. Like, if you're usually a shy person, trust me, it doesn't take anything more from you to talk to the person next to you and be like, hi, how do you find this subject? Or what are you like, how do you revise? Just to start conversation. Like, try and see it as a new beginning and just try and break out your shell. I know it's hard, but if you don't, like, you won't have any friends. So yeah, and you never know, the person next to you is probably just as shy as you are, if not more. So just be the first one to break the but yeah, that's it for all the questions. Thanks everyone who sent them in, and yeah, there'll be another video on Thursday, hopefully with Scholar, who, as I said, is late. But if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and comment as well if you have any questions or want to talk about the video, whatever. And subscribe, favourite, and come back on Thursday. I'm actually back doing videos Thursdays and Tuesdays 10 AM. So yeah, Thursday's the next time I'll be back. Bye guys.